Hello everybody from Bucharest, the capital and largest city of Romania. Bucharest is a city of about 2 million people in the southeastern part of the country, and of course by far the most well-known city of Romania. One of my first impressions of Bucharest is that it has a lot of very interesting looking buildings. It definitely is a really interesting looking city. It has a little bit of grit, it's a little bit rough around the edges, but it's also got a lot of really cool architecture. It also has one of the most interesting buildings in the world, which is the Palace of the People, or the Palace of the Parliament as it's sometimes known. I would say one of the most interesting reasons that it's interesting is because it's apparently one of the heaviest buildings in the world. It was built with a tremendous opulence because it was ordered by the dictator Ceausescu, who was ruling this country during most of the communist era. I'm actually walking down National Unity Boulevard now, which is where you can find the palace at the end of it. Part of it is possible to visit, not all of it, because apparently it is a functioning building of the government. You'll see when we get up to it here in a little bit. It's massive. I did just see a sign around the corner here towards National Unity Boulevard that said visitors entrance this way. So let's walk to the visitor entrance. This place is so big that it's hard to tell whether this is the side or this is the front, or whether the other boulevard is the front. But yeah, now that I see it on this side, I'm thinking this is the front of it and not the side of it like I originally thought. Okay, so I'm in luck. It is possible to visit the palace, but you do have to reserve a tour in order to visit. So I decided to reserve one for 4 p.m., which is a couple of hours later from now. I figured I would take the time between now and then to go and see some other parts of Bucharest while we still have the daylight. I'm filming this in winter, so the daylight is kind of short, and it's supposed to get a little bit rainier later today. So I figured, all right, well, in the meantime, I'll go and see some other parts of Bucharest, see the old city, go walk up some other famous streets here in Bucharest while it's still daylight and while it's relatively not raining. Like, it's only just kind of spitting a little bit. It's not really raining like it's supposed to be later. And then come back here and see the palace before we finish off the day with a nice dinner. So let's go. Crossing the big streets here in Bucharest could be a little crazy because half of the street will be green to walk across and then the other half will be red, and you've got like this much space here to kind of stand between. So okay, all right, I guess it's green now, so they let you walk half the way, but there's not really much of a place to stand in the middle. So I don't know, just watch out for that when you come to Bucharest. By the way, I've already seen like 2 accidents already here too, so yeah, things are a little wild. Be prepared. So now walking up Calea Victoriei, or Victory Avenue, and it is one of the most famous streets in Bucharest. It's not very wide though, and it's a little bit winding, and that's, I'm assuming, because of the fact that this street goes back all the way to the 1600s, which was when the founding of this city was. It starts adjacent to the old town and it goes up to Victory Square. I don't know if I'll walk up to the end of it because it is a bit long, but you know, we'll see. We'll just kind of walk up and see how it looks. As you get to the upper part of Victoria Avenue, it looks more like a normal street. It's a nice street, but it's just kind of a normal city street. The part that's down near the old town is the part that looks more unique. Let's just keep going up to the end of it since we already walked this far. So reached the end of Victoria Avenue and the weather has taken a turn for the worse. Now it's properly raining outside. Luckily there is a metro stop right here that I can take back down to where I started. Well, that's pretty convenient that you can just use your phone to pay just directly for a ride when you enter the metro. Nice and simple. Don't have to worry about tickets and going from one machine to another machine or blah, blah, blah. Just use your phone and get in. Very easy. So I'm not doing the old town much justice in this video by taking a quick walk through it on a cold and wet winter afternoon, but it is more lively here at night because there are a lot of bars here, a lot of cafes. There's also some clubs and other types of things that are more for the nightlife here. There's also restaurants and stuff like that, but I think we need to get out of the rain now, and the palace is a really big place to hide from the rain. So here inside Ceausescu's palace, which, well, it's now not called Ceausescu's palace, it's called the Parliament House or the People's Palace. The reference to Ceausescu is that it was ordered to be built when he was the leader of the country from the 60s until 1989, when he was overthrown and then executed. This building was actually completed after he was deposed. It wasn't completed until 1997. So even though it looks like something that should be like hundreds of years old, like a lot of old palaces in many parts of Europe, this one is actually younger than probably most of you who are watching this video. It's extremely opulent and really shiny and really fancy looking. All over the place there are big, huge halls lined with marble and chandeliers. There's apparently over 1,000 chandeliers with a few thousand crystals. Of course, lots of artwork around the building as well. It's such a massive building, but also only part of it is open to visitors because it is a working building, and of course not all of it looks as palatial as the bottom part here is. The upper floors, which are used for offices and other sort of legislative type of functions, are, I mean, a little more normal looking, at least from what we're told. But you won't see any pictures or references to Ceausescu in this palace though, because even though he was the one who ordered it to be built, like I said, it was completed after he was deposed, and so rather than tear it down, they decided to keep it and make use of it. So apparently this stairway here and the other stairway over there were built specifically for the height of Ceausescu and his wife, and whether this one was for Ceausescu and that one was for his wife or vice versa is not known. At least our tour guide didn't know, because we're talking about a difference of a few centimeters, but it was meant to make it easier for them to step down according to their heights and not have to look down and everything, because this was supposed to be like the big entry point for their guests and then go into the big room over here, you know, like a king and queen to welcome their guests. But, you know, little particular things when you have the kind of power that they had before. And then here, there's the next room in here. We're not really supposed to go in here, but, you know, this is where the event hall, I guess, or at least the beginning of one of the big event halls is. This piece of artwork here is unique in that it's religious, even though there's no other religious symbols in here, because of course, you know, this building was built, at least started to be built during the communist era when religious symbolism was not allowed. But this is here because they added it in 2001 when a Greek film director filmed a movie here, and the scene that he was filming here was supposed to be the Vatican. So they filmed it here because it kind of looks like the Vatican here, because it's so damn opulent here. And then of course they just left it there because it looks nice. Really interesting seeing this palace from inside, at least the parts that we can see during this tour, which lasted about an hour, even though we're only seeing just a small portion of it, just some of the main parts of the ground floor, which is of course the most elegant looking, the most opulent. But opulent is an understatement. It is insanely opulent here in the main parts of the palace. So that was a really nice traditional Romanian meal at Vatra restaurant. I'll leave a link down below, of course, to the place. And what I got especially was perfect for the end of a day that involved being outside in this freezing rainy weather all day. So if you want to warm yourself up and also try something traditional Romanian while you're here, if you're here visiting in the winter like I am, then that would be your choice. But I'm pretty exhausted now because my legs have gotten quite a bit of a workout walking around the city all day today. So catch you guys tomorrow. Good morning, everybody, from the next day. I'm here in front of the Gara de Nord train station, and the reason I'm here is because I'm leaving Bucharest. Figures it becomes a sunny and nice day now that I'm leaving. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Thank you if you already have. Make sure that you leave a like on this video about Bucharest, and until the next time, take care and travel better.